Hey friend, it's me again, and I have a new piece of the story for you. I'm super happy to share this one because, wow, this was one of the most mind blowing stuff of my life and really divinely guided. Finding your path, right? This path that is ever unfolding and always so surprising as we allow more and more of this divine spark to move through us and to show us the highest way for us and for the entire world and our presence in it. So, as you know, I've been in January 2023, I've been facilitating now intuitively for about 6 or 7 months. And I started to facilitate after receiving this initiation that allowed me to fully embody the frequency and not doubt my capacity to surrender and allow it through me. So now I'm facilitating every day and I'm learning a lot. And I see all this incredible opening in everyone coming to the sessions and how it's happening for them too, how they are finding more clarity, more um, feeling at home in themselves and finding more of their purpose and awakening into open hearts and liberating old stuff that were blocking them for so long. So I see all of this happening in many beautiful ways. It's very impressive. I'm always super humbled and impressed with every session. There is not one moment where I feel like I figured it out and it's just the way it is. No, it's always mind blowing. So never boring. and yeah, I guess it's been 6 months that I'm facilitating these trainings. And something happened in between, which is a whole other story that weaves into this one as well. But I'm going to share this one in another episode because it's too good to mix up with anything else. So I'm just going to continue on one line and then I will throw back to what came in between. But basically, during the summer, I go to see a friend that was staying in Mallorca. And she was not initiated in this process, but she received the same expansion and awakening as me the year before. So we kind of received it at the same time, this Kundalini rising inside of us. And I go to see her in Mallorca after I've been facilitating the sessions for a while now and almost a year, actually a year. So, yeah, we are just with a few friends in this beautiful uh, Chinta, I think. What's the name of this houses? It's so beautiful. The typical houses in the Spanish islands. And we planned that I give them a session on the rooftop at sunset. It's so beautiful, and the session is so revealing. Like the activation is profound, and the resonance between them and me, and the field that we co-create together, is really palpable. It's something so pure, so elevated. And this friend, we have such a special connection. And through this frequency, when you're in total surrender in that space, the connection you may have with people, the soul connection and the energy connection is through the roof. It's like a whole different level of connecting with someone. So there is this full mirroring, this full remembrance of the family, the deep bond of souls, the true oneness being felt, absolutely not thought, but completely felt and known at a cellular level. So when we're in that space, we feel that. And for me, it feels so clear that I have to transmit this to her in a way that she has to transmit this to other. So somehow, I don't know how, because I don't know how to train people, but I have to open up something and initiate my friend into being able to transmit this to other. That's just a knowing. It's very clear inside. And she has the same knowing. She has the same calling. She knows that she needs to transmit this and that I need to initiate her. So we start talking about this very innocently and just following this heart excitement and enthusiasm, the passion that is driving us, and for sure the guidance that came through both of us that is from a higher level and wants us to do that. But it's a full exploration because I've been doing that only for a year. I've gathered a lot of knowledge and experiences, but how to train people, who knows? um, So very innocently, like since the beginning of this journey, it's all about the surrender. It's all about the humility to know that I don't need to know. I just need to allow it, allow the divine to work through me. So while we are talking, we are thinking, okay, maybe I can come back in August in a month because she will be in another house in Mallorca, and I can give you the initiation. And then she mentions that the house will be quite big with a lot of rooms, and that if I want and if I have clients interested in feeling that same calling, then I can invite them over and we can have a little training with a few people. That feels so right because I already have in my field many people who have felt the calling as well, just like I did, just like she did. When we are in the transmission receiving this frequency is like summoning us or invoking us to show up in that way and transmit in our turn, serve this energy and allow it to expand in more and more people. So I had people like that in my field that came to my sessions a few times and felt that calling. So I sent them some messages, and yeah, three of them responded present. They were fully aligned and fully called to come in Mallorca to join us for the training. So all of a sudden, without me controlling or imagining or planning or wishing it even, I was invited by life, by all these elements aligning. Like I had also, all of a sudden, I was offered a space, a location to give a training. I was offered these people that were asking me to give the training. And so, really, really humbly, because I never thought that I could teach something like that because I didn't know how, I started to, yeah, open to that idea. And I decided, like anything else in my life, that this crazy thing that was happening in front of me, because it was so divinely aligned and timed and offered, I had no choice but to serve it, to serve its purpose. And when I said yes to that, I felt this big opening of the energy, the frequency, and the consciousness in my field. And I started to receive, not so much in terms of words and concepts and ideas, but more in the frequency and the energy moving through me. I started to receive the container itself and the capacity to hold a space for such a training, such an initiation. And that's something really powerful about life and our purposes. Whatever is too big for us, whatever feels, yeah, like such a big deal, a big thing that we have no prior experience or we really don't know how we can pull this off. Whenever something like that happens and opens up for you, the moment you say yes, in your energy, something changes. And the universe, life itself, is sending you the elements, the cosmic codes, the technologies, the ideas, the opportunities, the people, the situations, everything that you will ever need to fulfill that role, that new purpose, that new situations that came up, that new challenge that was rising for you. You will be given and sent every little thing you will need to fulfill that. And that is 100% true for any time this happened to me. So obviously I say yes because I live in the faith of the divine. I live in the knowing that the higher intelligence knows what's best for everyone to be fulfilled, for everyone to be at peace and to remember the truth of who we are, of oneness, of love. I live in the faith of that higher intelligence is guiding me always in the most good of all and myself. So naturally, if this happens in front of me, I have to say yes. And of course, everything opens up. So I'm being given all the elements inside the frequency, the consciousness, the perception, the understanding. Even at some point, I was given all the ideas of how to craft and open that space for them to receive in the highest way this initiation and become those powerful leaders, those facilitators of light. And wow, fast tracking to August, that was absolutely amazing, absolutely mind blowing. I was humbled to my feet of what happened there because Yeah, in absolute surrender, even more than in the sessions when I facilitate. This time I had to facilitate and surrender for 5 days, all day, hold the space for these beautiful souls that received the same calling that I received the year before. And something magical happened there where I became the vessel for that space holding. And I just literally witnessed the magic unfolding in each of them, in our group, through the entire week, through all these um, different exercises, practices, moments of life, through all these transmissions that we were living, that I was holding for them, that I was also encouraging them to hold, and for others. All of it was purely divinely guided. I had no say in the matter, no preparation, and everything unfolding in so much grace. So much grace. Whether it's the theoretical aspect where the right informations were being asked and given in the perfect way for them to grasp what was important as a facilitator to hold space safely and all these things, to of course the 90% of practice that this was the true initiation of them opening up and surrendering so deep, way deeper than before, that they are actually being infused and ingrained with this higher consciousness taking over them and guiding them now to facilitate each other. We had a lot of challenges, a lot of energies that we had to transmute. Then there was different initiations that this frequency wanted us to go through to make us stronger and to teach them how to hold themselves as facilitators of this high light and how to ground that in the earth. So we went through all the challenges, everyone, even the hard ones, everyone rised up to the challenge and really embodied this new role that they accepted. And by the end of the week, we invited some people. There were about, I think, 10 people joining us to receive the session, to receive the Kundalini activation from the new facilitators. And that was wow. That was like the cherry on the cake, you know, the final big blast of love and appreciation of all the work that had been done and all the light that had been embodied and accepted into our vessel and our space. And the facilitation was beautiful, each of them, and I could see, and that was for me the most humbling thing in that moment. Each of the facilitator were facilitating with such profound reverence to the energy, with such purity. They were all listening to the field, listening to the energy moving them. Some of them were activating their light language. All of them were activating their bodies to help the energies move around the space. They were listening to the bodies of each person laying down and giving the perfect support that these people needed in those moments. And all the people laying down receiving from them were having profound experiences of light, of who they are. Different things happen, of course, as usual, the liberations, the activations, but all of them connected to the energy. All of them received exactly what they were meant to receive. And so for me, that was a consecration, because I saw right there that this was the most beautiful thing that we could ever do for each other. Empower each other in our true essence and empower each other in our leadership and our purpose. And that moment for me was a revelation, because I understood that that was what was I wanted to devote myself to. I was going to I was going to continue to dedicate myself to empower others to remember their power, to remember why they are here, and to harness that power in service of others. That was a revelation because it was beyond holding space for people to remember who they are. It was now guiding and helping those people to fully grasp the higher potential and embody that potential for themselves and become that leader of light, become that self healer and that light and way shower for others. And the ripple effects of that purpose, wow, they are gigantic because those four new facilitators fully embodied in absolute reverence of the purity of that light in a non-egoic way, giving this transmission to many other people online in their own countries, everywhere in the world. The ripple effect is immense. And I really found myself. The way I felt while I was facilitating this training was so at peace. It was so graceful inside, so easy somehow, without even having to know anything from the mind. Everything was unfolding. There was, even through my words, through whatever ideas were coming from me, it wasn't me, the Sophie with the ego and the personality. It was my higher self. It was the divine self and spark that was always speaking, working, and moving through me. And the ease and the peace of that showed me that I had found my path. I had found my purpose, and my service was right here, right there, empowering others to remember how much power they hold and how much good they can do in the world. That was a revelation, a true revelation, a very big, beautiful surprise of saying yes to something insane, to something that doesn't make sense for someone who has done something for a year, but saying yes to the miracle, to the mystery, the unseen that I trust more than anything that I see here. Because I know that miracles are more truthful and more real than what we know as real and palpable and physical here. Miracles encompass the entirety of the infinite. They mean the true possibilities beyond the barriers of what is known. So I trust that more than anything. And every time I said yes to the crazy, mysterious, unseen, and unknown thing, it has proven to me that more of the truth, more of the real self, more of the true fulfillment is being given through that. Every time you say yes to the crazy thing will bring you home even deeper than you know it. Every time you say yes to the unseen, you will find out more of the multidimensional mystery that is life. And you will gain a lot of trust in life because it will always prove to you that you gain a lot of happiness, fulfillment, self knowing. You will gain a lot of faith because you will see the good that it does in the world every time you say yes to that voice inside, to that crazy divine alignments that ask you to step out of your comfort zone, to really, really go beyond the mind and the ego and the fear. But every time you will see the good that it creates inside of you and around you for the people that you will touch through those situations. And that good that it creates, that will give you all the faith in the world to continue to say yes to the impossible. When we say yes to the impossible, we make the reality a whole other level than what has been known. We make reality even more beautiful for everyone. The more we are saying yes to the crazy, the more we all live in this divine harmony made of miracles. Because everything about the Kundalini activation process, these spaces where you come and surrender to life force energy and you receive something special, everything about that is about opening up to miracles. It is mind blowing. Many people are speechless after the session because they don't know how to express such divine bliss that they felt. They have no idea how to find the words to fully express that. They don't know because it is unspeakable. because the amount of beauty that you feel when you truly remember divine is beyond any words that the human has ever found. That's the kind of miracle we are all opening up when we say yes to the unknown. The impossible is just a concept in the mind. We are capable of the greatest things we will never imagine. And I have so much more stories that will prove that and that open up to even more of that I want to share with you. So I guess this is it for now. This was the first training I did. Know that this was the beginning of a whole new journey and a beginning of, yeah, an overcoming of any kind of limitation and an expansion of the togetherness and the power that we are when we work together. So there's a lot of beautiful moments I will share with you around all of these topics. I hope this sparks something inside, some deep inner knowing that, yeah, way more is possible if we just allow it. If you just know that there's something more here, something more will come and knock at your door. When it does, open that door. Please open it because you have no idea the good it will create in the world. But it will, and it will be absolutely magnificent, glorious, pure grace unfolding. We just need to open that door. Sending you much love, and I see you soon.